Hello, and I say peace, but there was a few things I left out of the video I did yesterday about the upgrades to my website, slipthetrap.com, all squeezed together, of course, all one word. Um, but first, before I go on, I'm always curious when I see the cards like this, as to what's underneath. In other words, I have to flip them over. And that's not really what this video is about, but I'm just curious. Queen of Cups. Wow, that's a long explanation from the past. Let's see if I can make that bigger so you could possibly read it. There you go. Oh, and I guess while I'm here, that is one thing I did forget to mention. On just about any of these things that are actually images, you can right click or double tap on a Mac. And when this little box comes up here, you can say open image in new tab. And when you go over there, you can see it just about as large as you want. Look at that detail. And that's not even the high resolution one that I use for printing. So that still looks pretty good. Now let's go see, can we look at the 1909 or whatever it is, Rider-Waite Smith card? Yep. And you open it in a new one. You can also zoom in on that. And I think for this one, you have to do like a Command or Control plus to make it bigger instead of clicking on it. But that, for an old low-res image, that's pretty good detail there. See the baby with the fish or cherub or whatever. So I just wanted to mention that, and we'll get out of here, go back to the right size. But why I'm really here is when you click on buy. Of course, everybody knows how to buy a deck of cards from these two places. But what I did not go over is, what do you get for this $1.99 you slap into PayPal? Well, what do you end up seeing? So I'm going to show that now because I had to buy it to get through this process. Thank me. But here's what it looks like. Now, this is that the original offer was just for Toropian songs, which you can see I've worked my way from the backs through the Empress. I got a good head start on the Emperor, but it's still coming. And if you're stuck with your cell phone or a smaller device, I'll squeeze it down here, and this is what you'll see. So it's whatever the fancy word is for this. It's responsive to whatever device you're using. In other words, it shrunk down, but nothing's been lost. Things get resized, but all the words are still very readable, I think. And on each, originally it was episodes on Vella, but now it's chapters in a book. You can click on top to get back up here to the beginning. Let me make this wider for me, not necessarily for anyone else. And there are the chapters and a preface and the author notes, which isn't much there. But let's go back to the top. And you'll notice now, for those who have signed up and are getting access to this, there will be bonus writing. And I say writing because I'm not exactly an author yet, but there will be bonus writing. In other words, more stories included with your purchase of Toropian songs. So I got the first one up there and all checked out and pretty confident it's okay. And it's called The Mundane Speaks. And there are 14 chapters. And this one I got a little carried away with a thing that I find interesting. I think I can refresh to get them to jump again. Notice on Formic, which is about ants, how they're hopping up and down. Now, that's not an image or a GIF or anything like that. It's just a font, like I was saying in the previous video. So I won't dwell on it, but I got a little carried away there because I picked out parts of the story that matched up with certain symbols, like Face Off is about 3 cats, and Old Together, 2 people. But there's a little warning about the jumpy things. And again, you can see that the images are changing size based on what you're reading it on. So I'm on a big Mac right now, so I get a lot of real estate for the images. So let's go to author notes. So if you're someone who has access to all this, and there's the jumping frog, you can continue to read these. I have 2 more I've been working on that's coming soon. One of them's Vapo and Cramps, more like a graphic novel based on a comic book a friend and I tried to do in the 6th grade. And now it's a bit more updated, possibly more boring, but I'm going to give that a shot with a bit more art in here instead of static pictures like these, maybe some animation. We'll see. And then Journal of a Wannabe is me complaining about learning to write. So whether that's interesting or not, I don't know, but it's a part of the package. For $1.99, you're going to get that and everything I currently have on Vela, like Amazon Vela. And part of the reason for that is I get to control all of this, and they don't seem to be going worldwide, and their pricing is just a bit too high, I think, for buying a book or any kind of story that way using tokens. It starts to add up a lot. So this is my way of helping out with that. What else did I want to say? These files are encrypted. So if you were to look at them, let's do that. So you know how you can, just about any browser, you can look at the page source, they call it, view page source. So when I look at this page, I don't see any of those words. What I see is this gobbledygook here, which is those words encrypted. And this page is able to decrypt them, and that's the missing piece. If you were to steal this, you wouldn't be able, you'd have a hard time decrypting it because you don't know the password I used. But for reading, it doesn't affect it except in this particular way, which it does affect Vela stories as well. If you ever try to read those, you're in America and you read Vela. I cannot, if I wanted to, look up the word shortage here because I can't highlight. In other words, I can't go and look it up in Google, and I also can't sit here and cut and paste and cut and copy or copy and paste this text to somewhere else as if I was stealing it. Now, for me, that's not a concern because, I'm not Stephen King or something. But it is good to know that I can host these. I can have them look so they work on different devices, a phone. An iPad looks great right here. It's responding to what I'm doing when I make my window smaller, so that's great. You can jump around the chapters, jump back to the top, go to another book. They'll all be listed here. I think I have 8 or 9. So I just wanted to mention that to the people. Let's go back to where we started. To the people who have purchased. It says Buy Teropian Songs book. Maybe I have to change that. But that's the book I really am pushing for the $1.99 to sell. But once you get over there, you're going to be able to see another 9 stories. Whether they're as well written or better written, I'm not sure. That's up to you to decide. But I just wanted to point this out. So if you do come to tarot and you do go to buy and you say, I don't want these decks, I'd rather just, look at the pictures and have some words with them, whether they relate to tarot, those stories. I cannot say that's true, but I think they are just because of how life goes. But so with that, I will come back over here and say peace again. And we'll end this for today. I didn't want to make it this long, and I'll be back soon with how this page, not this page, but this page, I got to tap over here, how this page can be turned into an app that's on the desktop or on an iPad or wherever. It can become, it's really still a web page. Still goes to the website, But it will look like just a little app sitting on your desktop with a nice little picture on it and all that. I'll be back to explain how to do that. So with that, again, I will say bye, peace, and see you next time. Take care. Here we go. Peace.